All right, we are live. We got Dave in the middle, sandwiched between me and Kehaulani from Aloha Creative.
Hi.
Welcome. She's a little nervous, so we're going to treat her well tonight, Dave.
Oh, well, then I'll just keep my mouth shut because I make everybody
No,
uncomfortable.
no, you don't. Just half the world, and not this half.
Okay.
So he makes us feel uncomfortable by freezing up every once in a while, but that's okay. He'll be on. Um, so Kehaulani, I've known you for almost a year now, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, about a year. And
yeah.
like we met through Chit Chat, right? The Chit
Yeah.
Chat photo booth group.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And I was brought on to talk about like Google Ads and stuff like that. And I just love it. Sharon's awesome. The whole crew there are amazing. And then you were part of photo booth marketing, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Yep. And then Ursula said, go talk to Art. And we've been working together for about, well, about 9 months, I would say, probably on like your Google stuff,
Yep.
right? Uh, so you own Aloha Creative, but it wasn't called Aloha Creative before. What's the original name of the company?
So the original name is 222 Aloha Photo Booths.
Hmm.
And yeah, I know it sounds clunky, but there was a reason for that. And then when I had to go through the rebrand, we were able to kind of remove the clunkiness and just make it
Hmm.
more on Aloha Creative that would allow me to be more flexible in the different services that we offer.
Okay. So the Aloha part, that's completely about who you are, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I
So where are
guess
you from? Tell
so
everybody
I
where
was
you're
born
from.
in yeah, so I was born and raised in Hawaii. I'm a native Hawaiian, and my name is Kehaulani Le'i Aloha. So as I was coming up with these business names, I was trying to figure out what do people know me as, or what's something that I would want people to remember me by. And at one point, I wanted to change my name because I hated it. But then as I grew up, I was like, I like it. And then now I was finding out that aloha is a big deal for some folks. They love to go to Hawaii. And I love the mainland. I love coming to the States and doing all the fun stuff here. So honestly, really, aloha kind of arrived from just the popularity of just being different in my area.
Mhm.
Um, and people remembering who we are and what we do in the Charlotte, North Carolina region.
So how long like has it been? Like how old were you, or like how long has it been since you've moved from Hawaii, and how long have you been in Carolina?
Yeah, so I've been in I left Hawaii in high school.
Okay,
Um, and so I didn't know that Hawaii was popular or a thing until I got to
really?
Japan. And yeah, you can live in Hawaii for 40 years and never go to a beach because it's kind of the way of life, it's kind of boring,
Mhm.
but I know that's
Yeah.
probably a cliche or not people wouldn't understand that. But no, so I've been in the States for a while. I moved to Jersey, Delaware, and then
Mhm.
down to the Charlotte area. So opened a business, started this business as a passion. Photography is my passion. So I 2022, fourth quarter, I guess like October. So I kind of say I retired from my real job or the job, corporate job
Mhm.
in 2022. And I was able to work in my passion and monetize all of my managerial and corporate experiences into my business today.
Right. So you have a business background, right?
I
So
do. I
yeah.
do.
And was that so? Let me ask this question, because we're on these Facebook groups, and there's a lot of people that have come into the industry, right? And a lot. Like since 2020, it is like a measles epidemic. There is a photo booth company on every corner. It's almost like barbershops and nail salons at this point. Um, you had a business plan to start off with, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
And a lot of these people don't. So I guess you would say get a business plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like I had a four-pillar business plan. I knew I wanted to do several things. They were all under the same umbrella, but I initially started off as a FAA certified drone pilot. Um,
Oh, okay.
so I love photography, but my temperament is more on I'm a tech junkie. I love technology. I love software. I love learning new things. And so just taking a regular portrait to me kind of was boring, but I knew it was a passion, but it was not exactly what I wanted to do until I discovered a photo booth community. I didn't even know this community even existed
Mhm.
until I decided that I was gonna start a photo booth business. And so once I discovered like this whole new land of people that all talk the same language, and I'm learning so many great things from different folks, it's just been a great experience. And if I left the corporate world, I didn't even look back. You know, I was just like, this is where I should be.
Yeah, and you've got some serious stuff going on. Like, we're gonna take a look at your site in a second, but like, and then
Uh,
we're gonna look at your old site because I know your new site's not launched yet. You're working on the new site, but the
yeah,
amount of variety that you cover just kind of speaks to like, I was a drone pilot first. Like, you're a techie. Like, it totally shows that you're all about technology and learning anything you possibly can about like this photography, video, everything.
yeah.
Um, and when you didn't know about the photo booth community, it's like actually like Dave has got like, if you weren't one of the first, Dave, you might have been the first, right? Photo booth industry.
I would, yeah, we were the first. There was nothing photo booth before I
Mhm.
started the network.
Wow.
And now we've got all these different groups as well, with just tons of knowledge that we all sponge off of, right? We're just like learning from each other and
I don't
growing.
see
Like,
my checks coming in anywhere, so
Yeah.
well, we do it for the love of it.
that's
We
true.
all
I
learn from
do.
each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you had a business plan and you have a technology background, and you jumped ship on the corporate world and you came in, and a lot of people are trying to get corporate work. And you seem to get a good amount of that. I mean, maybe not a good amount, but you're pretty successful at that, right?
I would say so. Yeah. I feel like I found my people. So when I say know your audience, you need to know where your audience hang out at, and you need to hang out with them. And
Okay.
once they get used to seeing your face and they have good, experiences with you, that's that trust building
Mhm.
process and partnership, that you hope to build along the way.
Tell me a little bit about hanging out. Like, how would somebody approach that who's not used to doing that? That they buy a machine, they kick it and say make money, but
Yeah.
you got to go out and get customers. It's
Mhm.
how do you approach that?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is we can't treat this as a hustle. This is a full time. So the type of work, the networking I'm doing, um, it's a lot of it takes a lot of hours. So I wanted to fill up those Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday hours of like just trying to figure out where my audience is and spend that time in that lane. So when I say that, I'm meaning like the sports teams here in my area, the convention center, a lot of the large corporations here in this area. And so finding out where they hang out at. And there's a little, you might have to make a little bit of a small investment, but it's worth
Mhm.
it. And if they like you, they're gonna bring you in. And so it's just understanding where you want to work at. Like we could say, hey, I want to do corporate events, but the corporate events is so large. You can be in galas, or you can be in the trade shows and
Mhm.
conferences. You can be there's so many avenues with corporate. So I wanted to in my business plan, I wanted to kind of dial into certain areas.
Mhm.
At first, I wanted everything. And I just
Yeah.
realized that, that's nice at first, but then you have to dial in and figure out what that niche is that you're good at and
Mhm.
what people want. And so I feel like 40% of my revenue last year came from repeat clients
Yeah.
in a corporate industry. Mhm.
Yeah. That makes absolute sense. Dave, I mean, like, what percentage would you say of your annual is repeat clients?
I would say probably around 35 to 40%.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's about that. I work very hard on
Mm.
referrals after the event and during the event,
Mhm.
trying to make connections with people. And I found that to be very, very positive.
So
And
what are some of the ways?
your best type of business is word of mouth and return business. So
Mhm.
Absolutely. What kind of techniques that you're using, Dave, to like you're at an event, like you say, like try to drum up referral business. Like, what are some of the things that you use, Dave?
uh just joking with the guests and making them feel at ease. We're about the experience. So
Hmm.
creating that fun experience that sets you apart from every other photo booth it can really make the difference in you getting future work.
Mhm.
And don't be afraid to give them a business card if they don't ask, or say, here, look, if you need anything, here's one of my cards. Give me a call. I'd love to help you. Even if you know anybody, pass it along. You're creating that mood, that energy. They're
Mhm.
going to remember you, and then having that card, you may not hear from them for 6 months, 8 months, a year, but you have that information to get that you gave them, and having a business card that's unique,
Mhm.
I think also really stands out, making it easy for them to get back a hold of you, whether it be through social media or through a phone call or an email. People don't realize you should have those a little bit bigger on your business cards if you're using business cards.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. Kalani. Okay, Kalani, what do you got?
I would
You're at
say,
the
good. So Dave, that was really good. Absolutely ditto that part. I would say my first job is problem solving, and understanding what the problem is that we're trying to solve for,
Mhm.
so that our clients, we want to make it as easy and streamlined as possible, and let them know that it's all about them when it comes to their branding and their vision, and just taking their vision and turning it into a story.
Mhm.
So I feel like when you're able to articulate that back to your client and give them that, they're going to call you back every single time, or at least, for the most part. But the troubleshooting, the problem solving, making it easier for your event planners, your corporate planners, showing them the new tools and technologies that we're coming across, and just making it easy for them. But also including the fun piece of it, showing them how we can problem solve and help the event planners and corporate planners make their life easier, and
Mhm.
not adding to the problem, but making it, as simplified as possible.
Okay. Yeah,
and
that makes.
to add on to that, also showing them how by them using you, they can make more money also,
Yep.
because they're more inclined to refer you
Mm.
when they can make some money off of your offerings, that you're presenting to them.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that, because I cannot believe I totally overlooked my favorite acronym is ROI. So I feel like I'm like the ROI queen. I even made a ROI song on, I think it's Sono, one of those
Oh,
AI.
did you?
I did, because the ROI is so important. And so even when it comes down to buying a new booth or buying new products and services, it might be a great idea in my mind, but the client might be like, But the ROI. So the cool thing is, one of the things I just recently started doing is I created this. Canva just launched that new 2 weeks ago. They just now launched that new code where you can write code.
Yes.
And so the beautiful thing is, now I can show my client the ROI. Like, I can say, how much is a client worth to you? And
Mhm.
then I can show, well, what's our, maybe the total people in attendance, and then taking a conversion rate of like maybe 10%, and then showing them like, hey, if this is how much a client or a new, customer is worth to you, and then showing them the ROI and showing them what the actual cost would be to them, they get to see those numbers in real time. And so they know that, we're going to try to help them get, the lead generation that they're looking for. And I feel like those numbers mean a lot to those decision makers and the ones that have to, write those checks.
That is huge. Like you showed this to me on Canva. Dave,
I
this is
I did.
wild.
I was,
I don't know if you've seen
yeah.
this, Dave. Canva's got a new thing coming out. Right now it's in beta. And I'm usually in every beta, but I couldn't get in it. I was like, what? I can't get in this? But you are, Kaylani. It's this function in Canva where you literally codes out, like it's a calculator, right? So you can, and there's so much more to that. Like I only saw the calculator. I didn't know you were doing an ROI thing.
The lot. Well, oh, you know what? I showed you the other thing, but the ROI, I'm actually gonna probably end up putting it on my website. But it's gonna be a conversation that I have with each client when it makes sense. Like
Yeah,
the ones that's like kind of like, well, why should I pay you $5,000 for this event? Or I
right.
have Rosie, the AI robot. Well, why should we pay you $10,000 to bring her over? Well, let me just show you, and I'll pull out my ROI calculator, and I'll
Mhm.
ask them, what is a client worth to you? And then I'll break it down. I'll let them walk through the numbers and they'll see it. And then they'll be calculating their own head on what their numbers look like.
Right.
So right now I'll use like Pepsi or Coke as an example
Okay.
to kind of see what those numbers look like.
All right. So let's talk about Rosie. For those of you who don't know Rosie, tell us what Rosie is.
So Rosie is my new addition. She's like my best friend, my BFF. She's one of the latest new technologies in the Aloha Creative collection. And so I actually have her like for AI photography,
Hmm.
photo booth, uh,
Okay.
roaming billboard, uh,
Roaming billboard.
roaming billboard. Yeah. You haven't heard
I
that one
like
yet,
that.
have you?
No.
Because I'm getting Rosie 2.0. So I have the Rosie, like the regular Rosie, the robot. Um,
Hmm.
Probably most people seen at PDX.
Right. So the
But
robot that kind of goes around the show and has a
yeah,
screw and yeah.
yeah. And so the latest one I have is the 32-inch screen. It's really a nice size. And I wanted that one because when I'm talking to my corporate clients, I want them understanding how branding is so important.
Hmm.
They already know how important branding is, but I want them to know that I understand how branding is very important to their,
Yeah.
the connections that they're trying to make, especially if it's a community event or a trade show or conference. And even if we wanted to use that same screen, the large screen, 32-inch screen for a
Hmm.
wedding, and we're doing like the wedding, like maybe photos from the bride and groom or like family things or graduation. If you notice, a lot of these events that we go to, a lot of times they'll have like slideshows. So
Yeah.
Rosie can kind of do a little bit of that, however we would want to spin it. But I was trying to get a tray built on her so I can have her deliver like food and snacks during like
Oh my
classes
gosh.
here, but
Uh-huh.
that's for another video. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Rosie, and I've been challenged to take Rosie out once a week.
Really? You challenge yourself to take it out once a week.
So I didn't make the challenge. Well, someone
Oh.
challenged me, and I was like,
Well, who challenged you? Come on, say it.
She lives in California.
Okay.
I'll just leave it there. I don't know if she wants me to mention her,
Okay. All
but
right.
she's trying to motivate me to get Rosie out more because a lot of people don't know about her, and maybe I'm not doing the greatest job with promoting her because she's not on my website yet. So sorry. Um,
It's
so she's
okay.
on
We'll get there.
my social media, but she's going to be up there Friday. I think she'll be up there the day after tomorrow. So
I just
yeah,
see like this TikTok or Instagram promo video, just you and Rosie walking through a park. You
yeah,
sit down on a bench, you starting to eat lunch. Rosie turns to you and shows you something,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
this like nice fluffy music in the background while it's going
yeah.
on.
Yeah, she does
Rosie,
talk back too sometimes, so I gotta, like, make sure she's, like,
oh, she talks back to you. Oh, that's not good.
she's sassy.
Oh
She's
man,
anyway, but yeah, she's a lot of fun.
you got a lot of things. I'm going to show your old website. Well, your current website.
My
All
no,
right.
my old but
Yeah.
that's, like, long
I,
time
I'm
ago, like 2023, 24.
I'm gonna show it because I want everybody to kind of see like the kind of crazy stuff that you have been doing. So let me go here. Let me hit share screen. We're gonna go to. I hope I picked the right one.
I hope so too.
I think this is it. Photo booth rentals. We got it. I think we got it. We got it.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Yeah, you're in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a really good site. Like I know you've got a new site coming. I think it's a good site. I know you hate it, or maybe you don't hate it. That's a strong word, right?
Yeah,
Um, but let's take a look at some of the stuff that you got going on. So, you've got the 360 booth, the mirror booth, the selfie booth, the roaming booth, stuff that we all have. Well, I don't have a 360.
yeah,
I don't
I've
have
expanded that list a little bit since then, but yeah.
Yeah, then you've got your glam bot. I couldn't like how much and you've had the glam bot out a few times, haven't you?
So I'll tell you this, I have access to a glam bot whenever I want one.
Okay.
So yeah. So right now it's just whenever we get an inquiry for it, we'll kind of see what we
Mhm.
want to do with it. So yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got Rosie, but here's like photography, videography, and there's a drone service. But
Yeah.
that's what you started with, right? The drone service?
I did. I started out with the drone because like I said, my temperament is more of like I like fun and interesting and different.
Hmm.
So yeah, drones was definitely I do a lot of weddings with the drone.
Okay. And are you still doing wedding photography and corporate photography as well?
Okay, so wedding photography, I'm trying to kind of step away from that a little bit, but
Okay.
numbers are right, your girl is there. But I do focus on corporate photography and
Hmm.
mainly around corporate headshot clinics.
Okay.
So I really enjoy the corporate headshot clinics and trade shows and conferences with the photography. And I also do spot my photos, or I call it the AI interactive photography, which I
Okay.
think is a great, great, great software because not a lot of people have it. And
Yeah.
customers want things now. So, with the technology and the way the world has moved in the last few years, we're highly, with video content, photos, we don't want to see a lot of words and stuff. So with the photography, AI photography, people are able to get that instantly on the spot. And yeah, it's a really great feature that I feel like a lot of clients don't see very often. So I like to be the first one on the scene with stuff if I can.
Yeah. Same here. At least I try to be. The sketch
Yeah.
spots, I think I was one of the first in my area, other than sketchbots themselves, right, to do it. But and I put that in the back seat for a while, but I just recently recalibrated everything, and that thing's going out again starting in
Nice.
May. So Al and team, I apologize. I've taken a hiatus for a while, but I'm back. I'm bringing out the sketchbots because it's a different experience, right? And so what you're bringing is options and trying to be the first. So, and people are going to remember that. They're like, "Ooh, I saw this really cool thing." They're going to remember you, but by the time there's 30, 40, 50 glam bots out there, but there probably won't be. It'll
Mhm.
be a dime a dozen, and they probably will remember. But they'll usually remember the first company that brought it in,
Yep. Hmm.
which is key, especially with corporate clients, because they want somebody who's bringing fresh stuff to the table, because these corporations also know that if they're the first company that had this at their trade show or their event or their gala, that people are like, oh, this company's on top of the game, they're good, right?
Yep. Exactly.
So it's a nice site. I like it. I can't wait to see the new one, especially with Rosie.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we're looking to make sure everything is optimized, SEO, and indexed properly. Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little role playing here. Not really real role playing, but I just joined a chamber of commerce. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm more so advice. And, I had some advice last week with, we had Rob DeFazio on, and he gave some good advice. So I joined a chamber of commerce, and he said that's great, and you really just kind of need to be there. So there's an event that's coming up this Friday, and I haven't gone to any events yet. It is a Kentucky Derby event, like it's like a bash for like a little get together. How would I approach that? Like they don't know who I am. I just joined the chamber. Um, how do I approach the chamber about getting involved in this event? Like what would you suggest to, and what would be your approach?
All right. So did you say you're a member, new member?
I just joined. I'm a new
Okay.
member.
Well, with the chambers, they're more of a type of network that they bring community together. They bring
Hmm.
small businesses, medium-sized, large businesses together.
Yep.
So sometimes chambers don't always have all the funds to pay our pricing, right?
Yep.
Um, and I just learned that, and then by talking to other people throughout the country, maybe they can get sponsors. Just
Hmm.
depends on how the chamber operates. But I would say a new person coming in, there's a Derby, Kentucky Derby coming up Friday, and you want to come in and do you want to offer your service? What were you
Yeah.
thinking?
I was thinking that might be something, because it's one thing to walk in. I mean, I
Mhm.
can pay for a ticket and go to this event, but me walking around um, doesn't really do a whole lot for
Yeah.
me immediately, because I'm new and I've got to start
Yeah.
conversation, start building, but I
Mhm.
want to speed that up a little bit.
Yeah.
So should
Well,
I offer something for free for that event?
so yes, to answer your question, I would also consider most chambers already have a few photo booths or photographers already in the group, right?
Hmm.
So there's already probably been some conversation about that particular event that maybe someone was going to do something. But I would say, a roaming photo booth,
Hmm.
maybe speaking with the president of that particular chapter and just saying, hey, listen, I would love to offer. Well, I would like to offer our services. How does this work? Just kind of understanding the lay of the land so you don't piss
Right.
anyone off,
Hmm.
because there's a hierarchy or you got to work through. And so just
Okay.
understanding the nuts and bolts of how that chamber operates, and then offering your service and just sharing a pitch deck or sharing with them some of the services that make sense. Maybe they already have a photo booth at that event, but we want to make sure
Yeah.
we don't overstep our boundaries and piss anyone off.
Hmm.
Um, but I would say a roaming photo booth would be great for something like that because you don't have to take up a lot of space. You can carry it with you. You can get in and out. But you can also give guests a really great experience with all of your branding, that they will be able to get their photos, and then they'll also be able to have a way to contact you later to if they want to have your services in the future.
Okay. No, I like it, and that's kind of what I was thinking. So you can get it straight from the pro right there, who's already been networking for years. How
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
you, Dave? Does that sound like the nice?
Yeah, that's the way that I definitely would approach it and have approached it in the past. You
Okay.
know, just offering something that's a little unique that maybe one of the other members of the chamber, photographer or whatever, doesn't
Yeah.
offer.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of the roaming photo booths in my area. There's a handful. So I think that's one of the things that sets me apart. I know we all say, our entertaining skills are the true what sets us apart, and that like everybody has the same equipment, but in my area, not everybody does have this roaming. So I think that's one thing that I have up on the competition, so to speak. No, that's good, and I appreciate the with caution advice, meaning speak to the people first, kind of get a lay of the land, right? I think that's so important because you're right. We don't want to just walk in there with this device and there'll be another photo booth through there. That's just an awkward moment.
Yeah.
You don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah. First day, you're like, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so aside from referral business, you know, we know you're doing Google ads but you do have some really good presence with SEO now, right? So when I Googled, um, photo booth, Charlotte, North Carolina, you show up on the first page.
I do.
You did when I looked at it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, um, do you even look at like your Google Analytics and see like where the traffic's coming from or any way to try and find? I'm putting you on the spot here. Do you?
Um, I I have a wonderful partner that helps me when I have any questions. But we just met, and
Okay.
I'm going to be changing my ways, and I'm going to add to my weekly agenda to look at my Google Ads, to make sure I understand what's going on quarterly, or like because I think it's seasonal with some of the things
It
happening.
is.
So I want to be smart about my Google Ads spending.
Yeah. But you're SEO too, right? And
And my
so,
SEO, yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna task you with making sure that you look at your Google Analytics though, because that's gonna give you insights into everything you do. Like if you're doing Facebook posting or Instagram posting or Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and you can even add tracking to links from other websites. So for example, um, I'm 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 just kind of embarrassed to say this, but I've got a link from the Chamber of Commerce website, but I didn't give them my tracking parameter so I could see that it's coming from the Chamber of Commerce. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, did you know you could do that?
No, but when I talk to them this week, tomorrow, as a matter of fact,
Mm,
I'm going to be
yep.
doing an event with them tomorrow. Maybe you can help me with those terminologies so I could ask them. Maybe they can take
Yeah,
a block for
I
me
can
or
help
something. Yeah.
I can definitely help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's when you mention ROI, like we should also be looking at our ROI. Like what are we spending? Not even with monetary dollars, but with elbow grease and time, because time is money. So we should know if we're doing SEO, which is kind of easy to figure out because it'll say organic in terms of Google Analytics, that organic meaning just not paid ads, but even links from other websites, right? So if we go to, if a charity comes to us, and this happens to me like at least 2 or 3 times a month, a charity comes to me and says, "Hey, we're looking for a photo booth. We don't have any funds. Would you consider donating?" Well, I do a handful a year that I will do it for free, right? If I feel it's the right situation and I'm going to get something out of it, whether it be something from the kindness of my heart in terms of a charity that I really believe in, or if I know that they're going to give me a link from their website for SEO purposes or some other kind of non-monetary in kind, then I'll do it. And when you get a link from a website, you want to kind of know, hey, how much traffic came from that link from that website. So, if I don't know, then how do I gauge what my ROI is on the event?
That's good. I gotta write that down. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the cool things I'm running a little campaign where I'm going to start working with more nonprofits to offer
Okay.
things kind of to your point. And then, like for instance, I do a little bit of work with Ronald McDonald House, and I just joined their photography team.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so when
Okay.
you do that photography team, if you know who they're connected to, you know, then
That's
there's
yeah. There's
back doors and things.
gajillion dollar corporations are in
All of them. I mean,
same room with Ronald McDonald House. So you're getting
all that.
exposure to all these corporations.
You're right.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I also I feel like so I had some coaching which has helped me tremendously in what I do today.
Hmm.
Um, and it's really given me a platform to really have more confidence in how I price my services.
Well,
How
Ursula from Photo Booth Marketing.
I did. Yeah, we was
Yeah.
together for 6 months. I love you, girl.
Yeah,
Um,
they're amazing. Like Ursula's amazing. I'm a part of Photo Booth Marketing as
yeah,
well. Like when
yeah.
mentoring's amazing with them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would have stayed longer, but I was like, I got to get some work done now because she'll keep you busy, which is a good thing because it's only adding, revenue to the business. And I was able to increase my revenue by 30 something. I think it was like 30. I'll just say 30, but it might have been like 35% in the first 6 months.
Ooh.
So working less, but
Mhm.
charging more. And so, you know, coaching sometimes to me is like, I don't, go slow to go fast or, I just want to make sure I don't miss the key things that I need to understand because, there's a lot of photo boothers out here and I'm not a photo booth company. We are a photo and video activation
Yeah.
marketing, experiential marketing company where we can do a lot of different things. So I just want to be successful in whatever I do. And, I don't like failure, but I know sometimes you got to have those little speed bumps in the road to get better. And so I think the coaching has helped me tremendously. Um, but also just, connecting with different people in the industry that have been there, done that, and are doing very well. They keep me motivated. So I have a couple accountability partners um,
Okay.
that hold me accountable and we hold each other accountable. And man, I don't know what I would do without them. So, yeah.
Accountability. Yeah, you got to have, kind of people that you can bounce off ideas, people that can make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing because it's easy to get distracted.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very easy to get distracted.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah,
get distracted all the time.
Don't we all?
yeah,
You're good. You're pretty good, David, being focused. What?
yeah.
All right. I want to show you. So we've talked about all this. So, um, Kehaulani, I promised you I would show you a little bit about something that I was working on. I was inspired by Jason Whaley, actually. So there's this little thing on my forehead here, right?
Which
It
Jason
sticks.
Whaley's social
Smash
media
Booth.
smash booth?
Smash Booth. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I like him. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this little device that you can get off of Amazon that this has actually been around for a while. So this isn't new technology, but what he's done, which I think is just so fun, and just the way he like came up with it is awesome. So you take this device, right, and you run through the photo booth. You don't really run through it, but you process like a video, and then you stick this to your phone, and then a video shows up, right? So let me show you his website here. This is really cool. And I was just like, that is cool. So let me go stop this screen and we are going to present a new screen. And it is,
And this
now you
isn't
can't,
new. It's been out for a while. It's just
yeah,
not a lot of
he,
people knew about it or know about it.
yeah, yeah. And so what he's saying, I think he's the first one to actually smash, like really, that's his name, smash this technology or this fun gimmick in the magic world with the photo booth industry. So this is it right here. This is cool, right? He calls it hologram, the hologram effect video booth. So what happens is you're running video, or you can even do it with a picture, still picture, and then the software processes it and it shows up by utilizing this device, which I've got on my phone here. It'll actually show. And it's not hard to do, but the fact that he did it and it's something that's new and fresh, I just love it. So Jason, when you watch this, good job, man. This is really cool stuff. What do you guys think about something like this? Do you think, Kehaulani, how would you position this with your clients?
Well, I love this whole concept, and I don't know if are you going to walk through the process?
Yeah, I'm going to show
Okay.
you really quick how I did
Yeah.
it.
How would I position this to a client? I mean, I think it would have to definitely, I would have to have some marketing videos, kind of like what he has here,
hmm
to kind of display what it looks like, and kind of really introduce it, because clients won't know to ask for these type of
Yeah, exactly.
services. So we would have to do a really good job of marketing, and even bringing it out to some of, like, for instance, some of my networking events,
hmm
that, like my golf tournaments and like some of the big meetings that we have. Just kind of showing them a display of this, I think would be great to kind of get it out there so they can know to ask for it. And then maybe come
hmm
up with a great like holiday experience, or something that I think that the clients would end up liking to
That would
purchase.
be cool. Almost like because you can do like snow falling, right? Can you imagine this thing?
Yeah,
It's like, wow, it's like here I
yeah,
am in snow.
yeah.
Or the snow globe as
The snow,
well.
the snow globe. Yeah,
I,
Yeah.
I I think this could be used kind of creatively with some brand activations too.
hmm
yeah, yeah.
I mean, just
And
just
that,
the effect itself is
and
Yeah.
going
the,
to draw eyes,
Yep.
right?
Once people see other people, holding it up and looking at it, it's going to draw attention.
Mm,
And if you're doing that at like a
mm,
convention or something for a large client, you're going to have a line all day long for that, I'm sure.
yeah. And these things aren't expensive. They're like, I don't know, $1 to $2 each, right? So where people are already shoveling out, 60 cents, 80 cents, $1 for the trading card holders. So it's kind of the same thing. It's a gimmick, but just smashing something else with our photo booth technology.
Well,
So,
I don't necessarily think it's a gimmick. I think
well, I
it's
mean,
just
this is the gimmick
it's a
itself.
different avenue.
Yeah.
It's just being creative is what it
hmm
is. And that's really what we're about in this industry, in the photography and the event industry, is you need to be creative all the time. You
Yeah.
know, it's not a cookie cutter type. There are people that run their businesses like cookie cutters,
hmm
and they're happy and they do their thing. But the ones that really truly succeed are the ones that really look at outside the box kind of options.
And matching the right experience with the right client in the right situation, right?
Exactly.
Not just saying,
Exactly.
hey, you want a photo booth? Well, don't really want a photo booth. We want an experience. Or hey, you want a 360? It's like, well, our crowd's not really into 360s, right? This is essentially what you're doing with this is creating a quadrant of video, right? And then this piece goes in the center like that, right? And then when you hold it up, it's kind of dark in here, and I got lights in here, but you can actually sort of see it. Now, if I was in a darker atmosphere, you'd be able to see it better without these lights shining.
If you cover the top art, does it
Oh
show?
yeah,
Yeah, there you
yep.
go.
There you go.
turn your light
Pretty
out.
much. Okay.
Let's see it.
Well, I don't know. Well, I got my computer screen too, so
No, we'll come.
there you go, right there. So it's
Nice.
kind of my camera's having a hard time focusing. So now one thing that I do know is you can get different shades of this plastic, which would help it show up a lot better. Right. So that's that. Um, but I reversed engineered it. I was like, well, that looks like something I can do in Snappic. You can, and that's essentially because I don't think any other software has the capability that Snappic does. Sorry, I'm trying to get my other light on. To do this type of configuration, I could be wrong. I'm still trying to learn everybody's software. So I just reverse engineer it. And these like videos like this are available on YouTube to watch, like fish swimming or tigers jumping. Like this has been around for a while, like you said, Dave. I'll go ahead and share what I reverse engineered in Snappic.
While you're pulling that up, what's the name of the little plastic piece again? I think I had it in my shopping cart already.
Hologram pyramid. You can
Okay.
just type that into. So let me see the event details. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So I looked in Snappic and they have this this one effect that's already in as a template, and I just recreated it. Right there's the paparazzi from photo booth marketing. People love that. It's called the kaleidoscope segmentation. That's how I reverse engineered it. And actually, I went to ChatGPT, right? And what I did was I found the pixels of a square by square, which is right in here. I mean, you go into Snappic and it's 1280 by 1280. And I went to ChatGPT and said, ChatGPT, I want, and I laid out exactly what I wanted. And then it just gave me all the coordinates, right? It says, well, for a 1280 by 1280 design, your images should be this size. And then it gives me the X and the Y coordinates of each one. So in Snappic, you just have to create a video effects, right? And I'm not going to go into the whole length to create it from scratch. I just kind of took the kaleidoscope one and kind of got rid of a couple layers and did it. So essentially, if you go into, let me see, where was it? Was it in timeline? Yeah, in timeline. So if you're in timeline, you're going to create a recorded video and you have to add a video effect. And then in that video effect, you've got different layers. So technically there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers, or reverse, from 1 to 5. The first layer is an overlay because you need that black background for that contrast with the video. So that's just a 1280 by 1280 square black overlay. Then you need your video layers. So that would be video layer 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you go into the first one, it's just a recording, and you have to go into effects and then create a frame adjustment, right? So if I create a frame adjustment, I go in here. There's 2 layers. There's AI segmentation, which allows for the background removal. Okay, so I replace the background with transparency because now it'll just transparent on that black background. And then your frame adjustment is where I'm putting in my XY coordinates, my width and my height, and my rotation. So there's 3 things that have to happen. So all the photos are going to be the same width and height. And then you just have your positioning X and Y, which means where on the screen, and their rotation. So if you look at degrees, just as you would with north, south, east, west, you got 360 degrees in a circle. Well, you're rotating this 90 degrees. So now I've got my first image is positioned at the 90 degree, and it's that XY. Now let's hit cancel, and you go to the second one, and it's just building these over and over again. The only thing that changes, again, we've got a background transparency on there. And we're going to go to the frame adjustment, same size, but just a different XY coordinate. And this one is rotated on the other side, negative 90 degrees, right? So the first one was on the right, second one, that's at 90 degrees. Second one's on the left, reverse 90 or negative 90. And now I've got to do the top and the bottom. Again, I've got a AI segmentation with the background transparency and same size, different XY coordinates, and this one's 180 degrees, so that's at the bottom. Hit cancel, go to the fourth image, effects, frame adjustment, background removal, and this one's at 0 degrees, which means 12 o'clock. So that's all it was to create that quadrant of videos, and then the output will just be what I showed you on the screen, and that's it. That's all it is. So you do that, you get yourself a little pyramid, you put it on there, and you've got yourself the hologram video effect.
That's awesome. I love it. I love the just it's something different, right?
Yeah.
And thinking about how to even improve that, and how can we make it even, you know, more user-friendly for our clients.
But it's just genius what he did, because it's like, it's the technology's been there, and that goes to show that, we have all these tools at our disposal to go in and tinker and try and create different things, whether it's Curator, whether it's Snappic, whether it's TouchPix, Luma Booth, Breeze, Booth.events. They all have different things that they're capable of. LA Photo Party, they've got the lenticular lens capabilities, which you can't do on the other softwares as far as I'm concerned. So knowing all the different softwares is something that you can do as a business to take yourself to a different level, and separate yourself from the other companies that are in your area, and bring these corporate clients new and exciting things that they haven't seen before, that helps you get rebooked over and over again. Now, I don't know if that'll take off or not. I think it's cool. My kids looked at it and just walked in the other room. They weren't interested at all. But someone like me and you guys, I think we would walk through a trade show and be like, "Oh, that's really cool. What is that?" And that's what a corporation wants. They want eyeballs on them. And so when they bring,
it's so simple.
yeah,
it's and that's I think what captures it is it being so simple that all you got to do is place this on your phone screen and watch it. It's a gadget. It's something that they can put away, they can pull it out, show their friends whenever their coworkers when they get back to their office. And then, like I said, learning how to brand that for whatever, just makes it, adds that whole extra level to it.
I like it because you can touch it and you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's cool to get a video sent to your phone. It's like, oh, I got this video sent to my phone and I look at it and I post it on social media. But with this, it's like I get to play with a little toy. I get to put on my phone. Trading cards is kind of it's kind of the same realm. There's a touch it and feel it kind of allure to it. Even just a simple photo strip, it's a touch it and feel it type of experience that people just love.
Right.
So I wonder what else is going to come out. Jason, what are you coming out with next? I can't wait.
Well, I've been seeing a lot more with the AI and being able to do groups with the AI, and to also animate the AI.
Yeah, Bleepshare has been crushing it.
Yep.
We are having him come on pretty soon too. I can't wait. He said, "Hold on, I'm working on some things."
Yep. Fred's awesome.
Yeah, he is amazing, and he's like kind of like you, Kehaulani. He's just really just technical. Like the guy flies jets.
Oh, he's way to me. I'm just
worked at NASA and stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I just so Rosie, she was the robot. She was I just changed her out. She was it I just changed her over to iOS device because she was
Android?
Yeah, she was Android, and so I was limited on software. I haven't learned Breeze yet. I know about 5 softwares right now, but I wanted to add Breeze to my arsenal of softwares to learn. But in the meantime, I need iOS device because I can run Snappic or Booth.events, some other apps to do more of the AI stuff. And then even to look at Bleepshare as, adding that to Rosie as well, because I can go either Surface Pro was what I was trying to think of earlier, but Surface Pro or iOS. So having those 2 options for the robot makes it a really nice, you have that flexibility to do a lot of different things with Rosie.
Yeah. I think we have to have another episode. Well, I don't want you to give away secret sauce on what you're doing. I mean, you got to stay competitive. So, but I can't wait to watch your evolvement of Rosie and all the different things that she can do.
Yeah, she's.
I think you need to get the little outfit like Rosie from the Jetsons, and dress her up like that.
I was just in the store today, and I was gonna get her the football Panthers because we're Charlotte Panthers. I was thinking of getting her a Panthers jersey since we have an event next week, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually gonna get. She's gonna get wrapped, so we have a wrap for her next week, and then we'll try some jerseys, and maybe we'll get her whole wardrobe or something of that nature, and see all the fun stuff we can do with her.
want to see her all tatted out at a tattoo convention.
You know what? Hey, I'm down for it. If they want it, that's what they want. That's what we're doing. She's got her arms out, her guns are out anyway, so we could just get,
That
it
could
on.
be part of your like little viral video. You're in the park, but then later on at night you're going to the bars, and then you're both getting
Yeah,
tattoos.
yeah. She's down for it. She likes to hang out. So
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
yeah.
So, well, I mean, I just don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're busy. You're like creating stuff and just like doing nutty things over there. You've got a full plate.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah. I'm
any
blessed.
final words of wisdom for us out there that are looking to get to your level? Come
Listen,
on.
I'm trying to keep up with you guys. That's not we're, I'm just
I got a piece of
I'm just
plastic
a
in my hand. What are you
squirrel
trying to
in
get away with?
I'm just a squirrel in someone's world over here. I'm just trying to learn and soak up as much as I can. But I want to thank you for
That's the one
sharing.
you got to keep an eye on right up there.
Which one? Art.
Art.
He's Art.
What did I do?
We got to keep an eye on you. But
No,
yeah,
we
I
got to
just
keep.
go
We're
ahead.
just gonna keep on everybody. We're all coming up with different things and reverse engineering things and trying new things. And that's again why places like Photo with Network, Photo with Community, it's like that's why we love being in it because we're all learning from each other, right? It's fun.
Mhm.
It is
It
a
is.
lot of fun.
It is. It is. Yeah. Word of advice, we're never too we can always get coaching and, accountability partners along the way. When I think about like how consistent am I at doing newsletters or how consistent am I at doing blogs and how, am I doing my LinkedIn, these different things. So it's like, I want to be able to do everything. And I learned that it's, too many hats to wear. So
Mhm.
able to hire, help and assistance. But like just, knowing where your clients, are and hanging out where they hang out and them getting used to seeing you and because they say people do business with the people they know, like, and I don't want to say love, but know, like, and what is it? Know, like, and share or love or whatever. So the
Mhm.
more they see me out there and these networking communities, the easier it is to have those conversations. And it also can trigger, they're planning stuff throughout the year. And so they go like, oh, you know what, there's Kehaulani. You know what, I do have an event coming up. Because I don't expect for me to go to a networking event and everyone in the room is going to be, clawing at me to come do an event for them. But I just hope that they'll remember me when they are planning for those big events throughout the year, that they'll say, you know what, we have someone in our network that we trust and we want to, do business with her.
Mhm. Great. I love it. Great advice. I love the getting out there and getting in front of people like physically and developing those relationships. That's going to be my big goal this year. I mean, I haven't done that for a while.
Yeah.
So thank you
And,
for.
it's fun though. It's like it's not work when you enjoy what you do and it's a passion. We go out and it's like networking. Like for us here in Charlotte, we're at the nice ritzy hotels. There's always food and drinks, and you're just networking, handing out business cards, learning what everyone is doing. And so it doesn't feel like work, or I don't know, maybe it's work for someone else, but for me, it's more of like a social hour to hear what
Mhm.
other people are doing. And so now I just kind of entered a room and I've worked with several people in a room. So a lot of times they'll start, you know, bombing into the mouth of like all the stuff you've already done. So you don't even have to say anything anymore. You just walk in a room and they're like, oh my gosh, let me tell you what Kehaulani did at this last event. And so I don't even have to introduce myself anymore when I go into some of these circles. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we did it. This is a good episode. And feel free to hit me up anytime you need, as always, Kaylani. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see. I'll take a look at that site for you.
Okay.
Dave, so do either of you have any events coming up this weekend before
Yeah,
you leave
actually,
or
I've
yeah?
got I got some white
Uh-oh.
label events coming up this weekend, as well as a very large prom. Um, this coming month is just absolutely crazy. The next couple months are very crazy with large
Yeah.
events.
This is definitely one of the biggest times of the year for most of us. And I did post like there's gonna be a little bit of a lull in the summer, at least for me. And that's when I put my head down and I try to better my business and do marketing, do advertising, meet and greets, and efficiencies within the business, fix equipment, all that kind of stuff. So definitely plan on, if you've got a downtime this summer, don't just check out. This is a good opportunity for you guys to better your business. So get to it, right?
And remember, you're never slow. If you're slow, get yourself involved in marketing videos and learning, educate yourself. So don't ever stop investing in yourself and growing your knowledge. Learn a new software, try something different. There's, even when there's downtime, you can be busy, growing yourself for your business. So just a recommendation for people.
Awesome.
That's good.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining. And don't forget to check out Photo Booth Magazine's YouTube channel. And we'll put a link in the post on the Facebook groups tomorrow. And I think we'll see you next week. We don't know who's going to be on, but we'll figure it out. And we'll see you next week, guys.
Awesome.
Have a great time.
Thank you. Goodbye.